Welcome to The Explainer. Okay, so today we're tackling a book that, well, it makes some pretty wild claims. We're talking about a text that says it's basically the final word on human potential, the key to unlocking everything we're capable of.
The book kicks things off with this really provocative idea. It basically says, hey, you're a piece of divine tech, and you've lost the user's manual. So right away, it's not just saying we're biological machines. Nope. It's arguing we're something much, much more advanced. Think super sophisticated quantum computers. And here's the kicker. It claims that the instructions, our user's manual, weren't just lost. They were deliberately hidden.
And its whole mission? It's all about bridging this gap, this artificial chasm, as they call it. The idea is to take science, which they say has kind of lost its soul, and spirituality, which has lost its scientific backbone, and smash them together. The goal is to create one single, powerful, unified theory of everything.
All right, so let's dig into that. What's this big, unified theory all about? Well, first, we got to understand the problem the book says it's here to solve, this huge divide in how we see the world.
So the authors argue we're basically stuck between a rock and a hard place, right? On one side, you've got this science without a soul. It can describe the entire universe, but it has no idea what to do about meaning or consciousness. It gives us incredible tech, but no wisdom. Then on the other side, you have spirituality without rigor. It offers comforting ideas, but no real practical tools to actually master your life. It's been stripped of its scientific core. This book says enough of that. It's here to be the bridge, the thing that finally puts it all back together.
So, what's the secret sauce? What's the one thing that supposedly ties science and spirit together? Well, according to this book, it's a substance that's literally inside all of us, but one they claim we've gotten completely and totally wrong.
And that substance is melanin. Yeah, melanin. The entire argument of this book, the whole thing, pivots on a completely radical new take on it. We're told it's not just a pigment for skin color. No way. They present it as the master molecule, the literal interface between our consciousness and the physical world. It's the main piece of hardware in that quantum computer we were talking about.
And this is where the book really draws a line in the sand. It says that the mainstream science view, that melanin is just this simple pigment that gives us color and protects from the sun, is a massive misdirection. The true view, according to them, that melanin is actually a biological superconductor, a quantum computer, a holographic projector, the list goes on. It's not just a simple molecule, it's high-tech biological hardware.
I mean, just look at this molecular structure of eumelanin. You can kind of see where they're coming from with this claim. They're not just seeing a jumble of atoms. To them, this is a piece of incredibly complex biological quantum hardware. This intricate repeating pattern, they say that's the physical key. That's what allows our mind, our consciousness, to plug directly into the fabric of reality.
Okay, so this brings up a pretty big question, right? If we're all walking around with this unbelievable molecular tech inside us, then why aren't we all, levitating and bending spoons with our minds? Why are we still stuck in traffic jams and worrying about rent?
Well, the book's answer is pretty dark. It's not that we just slowly evolve this way. Not at all. The authors propose that our current, limited state is the result of deliberate, systematic sabotage, a cosmic crime, as they put it.
And this is where we get into the theory of the great downgrading. Now, hold on to your hats for this one. It suggests that humanity was intentionally, genetically dumbed down by some kind of parasitic, non-human intelligence, an archontic intelligence. And why? To turn us into a more manageable energy source for them?
Okay, so evidence for a claim that huge? The authors point to a few things they see as clues. First, our so-called junk DNA. They say over 98% of our DNA being junk makes no sense. It's not junk. It's just deactivated code. Then you've got all these myths from cultures all over the world about a golden age. They say those are just fragmented memories of what we used to be. And stuff like paranormal abilities? Those are just ghost functions, little glitches from a system that's been mostly shut down.
And this attack wasn't simple, according to the book. It was a three-pronged strategy. First, the genetic modification, messing with our hardware to sever our connection to our full potential. Second, a consciousness inversion, installing the ego to trap us in low-vibration states like fear and separation. And third, poisoning the environment, our food, our planet, even the airwaves, to keep everything at a low frequency.
But here's the thing. The book doesn't just leave you with this doom and gloom story.
Far from it. In fact, most of the book is dedicated to what it claims is a detailed, step-by-step protocol for reversing the whole thing. So how do we do it? How do we reactivate our DNA? The answer, they say, is all about sound and frequency. The basic idea is that if the universe was created with sound, with vibration, then we can use sound and vibration to recreate ourselves, to reactivate our original divine blueprint.
They point to ancient sacred geometry, like the flower of life here, and say, look, this isn't just a pretty drawing. They argue it's a diagram, a schematic of the universal pattern of creation itself. It's literally the shape that matter makes when it's organized by primordial sound.
And to back this up, they bring up the science of cymatics. If you've never seen it, it's wild. It's basically the study of visible sound. You take a plate, sprinkle some sand on it, and vibrate it with a certain frequency. And what happens? The sand magically arranges itself into these complex, beautiful geometric patterns. To the authors, this isn't just a cool party trick. It's proof that sound literally creates form.
This all leads to a pretty crucial point about our DNA. The book presents it as a quantum antenna. So it's not just a chemical blueprint for building proteins. It's a highly advanced piece of tech, a liquid crystal, designed to pick up and send out information using sound and light waves.
And this is where everything clicks into place. The theory goes like this. You expose the DNA to specific, coherent frequencies. This makes the DNA antenna vibrate. That vibration gets turned into an electrical signal that zaps the melanin, flipping it into that superconductor mode we talked about. And that powerful superconducting field is what boots up all that dormant code in our junk DNA. It's basically a biological system upgrade.
So, what's the end game here? What happens when we actually get this whole system back online? What does the fully realized cosmic human actually look like?
Well, the list of abilities is pretty mind-blowing. We're talking telekinesis, telepathy, biological immortality, healing yourself instantly, teleportation, even time travel. And the book is very clear, these are not supernatural powers. They're just the natural result of running our biological hardware at 100% capacity. This is supposedly our birthright.
Which brings us to a quote that really sums up the whole point of the book. This book is a weapon for liberation. So you can see it doesn't see itself as just a collection of interesting ideas. It's positioned as a tool, a manual, maybe even a weapon. Something to be used to reclaim what was supposedly stolen from us.
And that really captures the ambition here. This isn't some light weekend reading. It's presented as a super dense treatise, part textbook, part training manual. It's trying to weave together quantum physics, biology, and ancient esoteric traditions into a single, cohesive guide for human evolution.
So at the end of the day, what you have is this absolutely epic story about who we are, where we came from, and what we could become. And it leaves you, the reader, with this massive, provocative question to chew on. Is this a legitimate roadmap back to divinity, or is it just a grand, incredibly well-constructed modern myth?